Caitlin Clark, don't get it twisted. Don't get it up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
As Caitlin Clark continues to make waves in the world of basketball, she's drawn both praise and criticism from some of the biggest names in basketball. The rookie entered the WNBA season with higher expectations than any rookie in recent memory. Not only was she tasked with leading the Indiana Fever back to relevance after a 7-year playoff drought, but the fate of the WNBA itself was put on her shoulders after she sparked a rapid increase in the popularity of women's basketball at the college level. Now, let's look at what some of the biggest names in the NBA think about her game. The first people we have here are Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. On the 9450 podcast network, Kevin Garnett and his former Celtics teammate Paul Pierce talked about how women's basketball has really grown. They both agreed that the sport is getting a lot of attention now, and Caitlin Clark is a big reason for that. This is the first time in college basketball where I know more girls than guys. I know the girls, I know Miss Reese, I know Caitlin, Garnett said. This is the first time we've got women's basketball ahead of men's basketball. She, Caitlin Clark, could go right through any hood and get a bucket. She's going to give you more than 10 points in an NBA game. She can shoot, and she got the work. That, right there, shows how much of a significant impact Caitlin Clark has made on women's basketball. Another legend who has taken notice of the young sensation is Magic Johnson. Now, when a legendary point guard like Magic Johnson speaks about a current player, people listen. Appearing on Jimmy Kimmel Live, he was asked if he liked people comparing Clark and Angel Reese to him and Larry Bird.
You like that when you hear that?
I like it, and they are.
He went on to speak about how Clark's teammates have a responsibility to shield him from bullies in the WNBA.
Now, Caitlin, her teammates got to come to her defense.
Sure.
You can't allow her to have to fight every battle, right?
Right.
But we have to understand that both Caitlin, Angel, and Brink, who plays for my Sparks, they made the WNBA better.
Now, speaking of fighting battles, Caitlin Clark has had a fair share of unwelcome to the WNBA moments that have unceremoniously greeted her at the start of her professional career. I mean, what do you call Chennedy Carter scoring a bucket, but instead of celebrating, she goes to give Caitlin a shoulder? Clark is being tested. She is being tested physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Some of it is petty jealousy, no doubt. Now, many NBA legends today can relate to all the hate and envy Clark's getting because they, too, were once in her shoes as rookies. We can't start this conversation without mentioning the king himself, LeBron James. Back when he was just a rookie with the Cleveland Cavaliers, even his teammates didn't like him, with former coach Paul Silas stating that it was just a matter of ego. Anyway, LeBron has been vocal about his admiration for Clark's game, often taking to social media to address her haters. He understands what it means to be the marksman. Drawing parallels between her experience and his own journey, James emphasizes the importance of staying humble and focused amidst the hype and criticism. He believes that Clark has a great head on her shoulders and encourages her to continue pursuing her dreams despite the challenges she may face.
My advice to Caitlin, and my advice to anyone that comes in with this, this level of like notoriety, out of this world expectation, whatever the case may be. I just think it's all about having, be a horse, man.
Adding to the chorus of admiration, Charles Barkley, known for his candid opinions, has been nothing short of impressed with Caitlin Clark's performances. He describes her as a monster on the court, praising her incredible talent and achievements. Finally, he sends out a message to Clark's haters in the WNBA.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls.
Barkley goes on to talk about how Clark's celebrity has brought newfound interest and investment to the league.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA.
From Barkley's enthusiastic endorsement, we find Steph Curry, the sharpshooter extraordinaire, who has also praised Clark's game, noting the comparison in their game style. They both have seemingly unlimited range and the ability to nail three-pointers at a prolific rate, among other similarities. When asked about Clark's playing style, Curry described her as a special talent and said he was happy to have played a role in shaping her game. You can pick anybody that she talks about in terms of being an inspiration. If she picks something from our game, or models something from our game, I don't ever take that for granted, Curry said in an NBA All-Star Media availability in February. Transitioning from Steph's opinion, we turn to Shaquille O'Neal, a dominant force in his playing days, who went as far as to call Caitlin Clark the greatest female college player of all time.
I'm going to go on the record and say she's the best female collegiate player ever.
Ever?
Well,
I don't know about you. You
ever.
heard of Cheryl Miller,
Ever.
Maya Moore?
I said what I said, ever.
We've already mentioned that despite the praise she's getting from these legends, a great ton of criticism has been thrown at her as well. Some WNBA players have reacted negatively to her. Besides the shove we saw earlier from Chennedy Carter, another telling example is this mockery by DeCarrington of the Connecticut Sun and the social media criticism from Carrington herself.
For several games of the WNBA, forcing 10 turnovers. Right there you see Dejanay.
In response, LeBron James has stepped in to defend Clark, calling out the jealousy and unfair treatment she has faced, emphasizing the need for camaraderie rather than rivalry in the sport. Adding another layer to the conversation, the iconic Reggie Miller believes this isn't about jealousy, but just a matter of Clark going through growing pains.
What did you expect was going to happen to her? Number one, I don't think it's jealousy. Oh my God, she's getting all the endorsements. We're going to go after her. You're playing at the highest level. You're playing in the WNBA. You're coming from college and you're going to the pro ranks, right? What did she expect was going to happen? Why are people so shocked, right? You're playing against grown women. The same thing happened to us as rookies.
Cheryl Swoops and Breanna Stewart have also shared not very flowery views about Clark. Swoops, one of the most respected figures in women's basketball, openly questioned whether Clark's impressive college scoring records were as legitimate as they seemed. She hinted that while the numbers were undoubtedly high, the context and competition should be considered when evaluating their true significance.
Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years. Well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
Meanwhile, Breanna Stewart, a current WNBA star with multiple championships under her belt, dismissed Clark's accomplishments by stating that without a championship title, her legacy would remain incomplete. Stewart's comments suggested that individual success in college, no matter how remarkable, isn't enough to secure a lasting legacy in the sport. Many have seen these remarks from prominent women's basketball figures as attempts to undermine and diminish Clark's hard-earned achievements. Instead of celebrating her success, these criticisms highlight the tough road Clark faces, not just from her opponents on the court, but also from within the basketball community itself. This underscores a broader challenge in sports where emerging talents are often scrutinized by those who have already established their legacies. Despite these significant hurdles, Caitlin Clark has shown remarkable resilience and adaptability. In her first 13 games in the professional league, she posted impressive averages of 16 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. These numbers reflect more than just her raw talent. They demonstrate her ability to adjust her game to meet the higher standards and demands of professional play. Clark has worked on refining her shooting, improving her passing, and finding ways to be more effective against tougher defenses, proving that she's capable of evolving her game in response to the criticism. Throughout this period, NBA legends and other figures in the basketball world have continued to express their belief in her potential. They recognize that while Clark may face criticism, she has the drive and talent to turn these challenges into opportunities for growth. Her ability to adapt and improve in the face of adversity is what truly sets her apart, and many believe that this will ultimately define her legacy in the sport. Now let's continue the conversation in the comment sections below. Are you part of her hype train? Or do you think she has yet to prove that she's the real deal? And hey, while you're down there, why not hit that like button and subscribe to the channel? I've got tons more WNBA content coming your way, and trust me, you don't want to miss it.